Welcome to my channel Sell Buzz. The Pawn Store. A location where individuals bring their belongings in times of need. A place where one guy established an empire that brought him international fame. But what if that empire was founded on something genuinely awful? What if the amiable face you saw on TV each week was concealing the worst truth imaginable? You'll be shocked by what I'm about to reveal. Pawn Stars star Rick Harrison is said to have made a startling revelation that might ruin his reputation and even include some of Hollywood's greatest celebrities. This is a developing story, not simply a rumor, and you might never watch TV the same way after hearing what Rick Harrison allegedly admitted from his hospital bed. Welcome back to the channel, Seekers of Truth. If this is your first visit, you've chosen a busy day to be here. As those who have been following know, we don't back down from a challenge, but this one has really left me stunned. For more than 10 years, Rick Harrison has served as the face of the History Channel reality series Pawn Stars, which centers on his family's renowned gold and silver pawn store in Las Vegas. Due to his extensive understanding of historical artifacts and his ability to negotiate fairly, Rick rose from a local merchant to international fame. Supporters even came from far and wide to visit his store. We took Rick into our homes. We had faith in him, and we saw him grow his empire. Personal appearances, spin-off series, and books. Rick came to represent ethical business practices and historical knowledge. Millions were inspired by his ascent from modest beginnings, yet their darker truths lay beneath that meticulously constructed facade. According to multiple accounts, was the pawn store concealing something far more dangerous than precious coins and historical artifacts? 3 nights ago, Rick Harrison had a medical emergency that sent him to a hospital in Las Vegas. His illness was so severe that family members were summoned to his bedside. However, everyone was surprised by what transpired next. Rick allegedly started confessing to people around him, including medical personnel and a priest who had reportedly been called to the room, in an emotionally charged and upsetting moment. These weren't the typical regrets of someone nearing the end of their life. These were thorough admissions on a heinous crime. Millions of people have watched Rick's pawn store on television, and he allegedly admitted that it was being used as a front for human trafficking. You read correctly. Human trafficking. According to reports, Rick mentioned a secret underground space in the store where victims were temporarily housed. He allegedly described a convoluted scheme that had been going on for years and involved affluent customers who were prepared to spend a lot of money on people. According to the confession, these victims were abducted from various locations around the nation, concealed and sold for unfathomable sums of money. But that's not all. Rick supposedly mentioned well-known names. He even made a ridiculous, hard-to-believe assertion about famous actor Tom Hanks. It is crucial to note that there is no proof to back up this allegation against Tom Hanks. He has a solid reputation, and there is no reason to believe this assertion. Rick apparently confessed to buying a lady for merely $100, treating her like a commodity to be sold. This section of the confession has appalled people who have heard it. It's hard to comprehend the degree of cruelty involved in such acts. The priest who witnessed these confessions said Rick appeared genuinely afraid of facing legal repercussions, as well as being singled out by influential people behind the scenes. Rick's confession also reportedly revealed details about an even darker side of his involvement, claiming to have been involved in murders and other criminal activities to keep his operation a secret. According to reports, Rick explained how these influential people manipulated him, reducing him to a little component of a much wider network. Rick might have been a cog in a larger criminal scheme rather than the mastermind. After these admissions, law enforcement started investigating the matter within hours. Given the gravity of the allegations and the potential that the trafficking operation may have crossed state or perhaps national borders, federal authorities are allegedly becoming involved. According to reports, investigators are concentrating on the pawn business, particularly the basement section Rick indicated. The gold and silver pawn shop has been temporarily shut down as police execute search warrants and look into possible illegal activity. In a brief statement, Pawn Stars Network, the History Channel, acknowledged the reported accusations and said it was keeping a careful eye on the matter. The show's production has been put on indefinite hold. The public's response has been fierce. Fans who followed Rick's career have shocked and debated theories on social media. Some admirers don't accept the accusations, citing his charitable endeavors and public demeanor as evidence that he couldn't have been involved in such a horrible event. Some are wondering whether Rick's delusions or hallucinations from the medical situation drove him to make false claims. However, some individuals think these accusations to be accurate, viewing them as evidence of long-standing conspiracy theories regarding wealthy and influential people's trafficking networks. This has resulted in risky internet debates where people blame public officials and celebrities without any supporting proof. According to criminal psychology specialists, hospital confessions might be challenging. People who have experienced medical trauma may occasionally make claims that are not supported by facts. But even if the confession includes specifics, it can be worthwhile to look into it, particularly if the offense is as serious as human trafficking. The charges have been refuted by Rick's relatives. In a statement, his son Corey, who also appears on Pawn Stars, said, "My father had a serious medical event that affected his mental state. We request privacy as our family navigates this trying time and as my father receives the necessary medical attention." The words being ascribed to him were made under severe pressure and do not accurately represent reality. This assertion has been supported by other family members who speculate that Rick's treatment-related medicine may have led to disorientation or hallucinations. Regardless of the veracity of Rick's confessions, this narrative has brought up significant issues regarding the reality of human trafficking. According to experts, trafficking affects millions of individuals worldwide and generates billions of dollars in illicit earnings annually. Since this story surfaced, anti-trafficking organizations have received more calls and donations. If nothing else, these accusations have raised awareness of a serious issue that is frequently kept out of the public spotlight. As we come to the end of today's narrative, many questions remain. When investigators have had a chance to look into the evidence, the truth will be revealed. Is Rick Harrison a criminal who has been keeping secrets for years? Is he a man caught up in something beyond his control? Is he going through a medical crisis and made false statements? I want to address you, the spectator, directly before I conclude. It's simple to become engrossed in stories like these in a world full of dramatic headlines. Yet beyond all the drama, there are actual problems impacting actual people. Millions of individuals worldwide are impacted by human trafficking, which is an actual issue rather than merely a narrative twist or conspiracy. Whatever the outcome of Rick Harrison's case, I urge you to use this narrative as an opportunity to educate yourself about human trafficking and how you can assist. Recognize the indicators that point to the appropriate organizations, and above all, exercise critical thought. Wait for the proof and keep in mind that the truth counts. Don't believe everything you read or hear. For the victims, whose accounts are frequently disregarded, as well as for the accused, this has been the startling reality. To ensure you don't miss any updates on this evolving subject, please click the subscribe button and enable notifications if you found this video to be helpful. Continue looking for the truth till the next time. It exists even when it's difficult to.